I came goated up tonight.
The goats came back, huh?
Yeah, they did. They did. I just love those sweet sounds of your guitar strokes. We need more Charlie musical performances for
I
sure.
wish I would take more time to play again.
Time? What's time? Where
I
do you
know,
find that?
exactly my point.
Yo, YouTube, welcome back to our show. We're not late, you're early. Right?
Fair point.
Okay.
You know us by now.
We're always on time because the show starts when we start it. So it's
we're on goat time.
Goat. Kinda. I mean, you ever see a goat try to be on time? It doesn't usually work out.
Right. Did you see the commercials for Sheep Detective?
Yes, and I want to go see it.
They have the two rams and they're like,
yep.
Oh, how beautiful is that? And then they're quiet and they're like, I want to bash it.
Is that the one with Wolverine? What's his name? There's a movie coming out with where he's like a shepherd or something. What's his name? I can't think of his name. You know the guy who plays Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Does The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. He's got some movie about goats. Like there's just goats everywhere now. Like I don't know. We started a trend or something. Maybe I don't know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what's new with you?
Oh, let's see. We got the camper last week. The Grand Design Imagine pulled the old 32-footer up to the land, set it all up. Well, we're almost done with the setup. There's still some hard freezes up there at night, so we haven't flushed the winterization yet and turned on all the water. But man, it was sweet. It has all the comforts of home. We have internet. I have a Roku stick, so we bring our cable TV with us and bring my laptop. I wake up in the morning, have my cup of coffee, do some listing, and take care of some offers, and then I head out and spend some time out in the country.
That sounds great for you.
Yeah. Not exactly how you plan your weekends, huh?
No, not even close. Not even close. Yeah, my bed outranks pretty much everywhere else I would sleep. So that usually wins the day.
That was lacking last weekend. So it was our first time sleeping in the new camper, and we didn't do any changes to the bedding. And I wasn't super comfortable, but then we put down an eggshell mattress for this next weekend, so I'll get to see how it is this weekend. And it's a boys' weekend. Mrs. JC3 is going to be back here at home. She's got to work the weekend, so it's just the boys heading out into the wild.
Wow, that sounds dangerous.
It is.
Yeah. Well, we started soccer last night, had our first practice, so got to meet all the new players on the team. I got a couple of new coaches with me this year, and
nice.
It looks pretty good. I think we look all right. So we'll see how much of it we can get to come together. It's hard when you have a brand new team every season. You're just starting from scratch.
I could see that.
But Luna looks good. She's ready to go. So, the only thing is she has a latex allergy, and she plays goalie, and her gloves don't fit anymore. So it's super fun trying to find non-latex goalie gloves.
Yeah.
We eventually found some, but they're kind of like a fake latex, I guess is kind of the best way to put it. It's like a neoprene type thing. So I don't know. We'll see how they work. I have a feeling by the end of the season they're going to be all cracked and busted open, and I mean, if she gets a year out of it, it's whatever. But yeah, she can't share gloves with the other goalies, so we had to make some special arrangements for that. But got our new mouth guard, and shoes didn't fit anymore, so we went out and bought some Predator cleats, and so we're excited. We start the 26th. This is the first
nice
game, so got some practice time going in until then. That kind of leads me into I think we're just going to blow out the big announcement right away. Big change to this show anyway. We are going to go to a bi-weekly show for this show.
Twice a week. Oh
my God. You know how many people get it wrong? Like, oh, you pay every other week. No, it's anyway. So we're just going to do this once every other Wednesday, at least through summer, because we just have so much going on. Charlie spends a lot of time up north. We both have kids that play sports and are, at an older age where they're playing, there's a little bit more travel and stuff like that. So, and then myself coaching on top of that. So we are going to go to a bi-weekly show schedule for a little bit, at least a little bit. We'll see how it goes and go from there. We also kind of felt like, when we started this show, we had a lot to offer, like a lot of, new things happening. eBay standard envelope had just come out, and, all the listings, and we were, talking about how to do this full time and how to handle listings and scanning and all these new things that were popping up, and there just isn't that much, that's pretty settled in now, and we just don't have. Not that we don't have stuff to talk about, but some of it could wait a week. It's not as pressing as it was previously.
Yeah, that's a good point. There was a lot of new tools in the last couple years, and we've I think most have onboarded onto those. We still get a few questions here and there about that. And we refresh some of the low end, static selling themes every once in a while for some new viewers and things. But it's kind of time for a new era, right? Like, yep. I think the topics of the show are going to change a little bit, and we're probably going to talk a little. I'm guessing we're going to talk a little bit more about live selling moving forward.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
So, and that you bring up a good point, because one of the things I thought about doing is if I randomly have time, because I don't really make videos anymore, pulling cards for sales just doesn't really seem to fit the modern flow of card sales. So but what I was thinking about doing is I would go live by myself once in a great while if I had, a small chunk of time, and just kind of talk about what I'm doing or what I'm seeing or what I'm changing, to give my own updates. Obviously, Charlie has his podcast every Monday, so he shares his feelings and his business plans and things like that way. So that's something that I would rather do video than podcast just for myself. So that might be something that I throw up here and there, but we will definitely be on every other Wednesday. The other reason I like to go to a bi-weekly is there are times in the year where we literally just can't do the show. We have a holiday or somebody's sick or we're out of town or something like that. That kind of allows us, we could always shift the schedule and say, hey, we're going to do 2 weeks in a row, because that following week, Charlie's out of town, or that following week, it's Christmas Day or something like that. Yeah. We struggled with that this year because Christmas and New Year's both landed on Wednesday.
Yes.
So, like, do we do anything? So,
and that usually ended up like Adam and I would be like, yeah, we're still going to do it. And then the bosses of the household said, wait, you're going to what?
Did you realize it was Christmas? So I still believe that we can add some value, and the discussions are healthy and something that need to continue. We're going to kind of cut some of the hours out of that. A lot of us, as Charlie mentioned earlier, a lot of us are transitioning now and adding live selling in, which takes a different sort of time. And before the show, I was telling Charlie I bought something I never thought I would buy, and that's team dividers for boxes. Because I never cared about who was on what team. It was always about, just the hobby or no of the card. Yeah. But hobby has changed. For me, when I do the live selling, I sell almost all my requests are team stuff. So it's just so hard to dig through stacks and, I think I saw a cowboy in here. And usually when I get my better runs of sales, when I'm doing, cheap, super low end stuff, $1.99 type stuff, usually my best runs for live sales are, okay, I want Eagles. Okay, well, here's, an old Reggie White. Here's Seth Joyner. Like those cards you would never even sell. I would never even sell those cards, right? List them. Because Seth Joyner 98 Fleer Ultra card, I sold a Ken Norton 92 playoff card yesterday.
I sell Ken Norton all the time.
Are you really? No.
Well, he's one of the older, I won't say junk wax, but one of the older common cards that I actually do sell once in a while.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but I think most of us probably wouldn't list that, over like Pat Mahomes or something. I mean, I had Pat Mahomes cards in the show that didn't sell, but the Ken Norton sold, and Jay Novacek because I had a Cowboys guy, and
You got to remember,
so
Ken Norton Jr.'s dad was a heavyweight boxer and had
he was, yeah,
some
Ken
big
Norton
time
Senior.
pub as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. So anyway, my point is it's like, okay, so some of that stuff I have to sort it a little differently than I would. I never really sorted any of my boxes before. It was like, hey, here's stuff to be listed. I used to sort like shiny don't scan and then stuff that I could scan. And that was basically the only thing I sorted. And then that was how I did listing. And I probably will still do it that way for the stuff that I'm going to list, but I have to better prepare for the live shows because you lose your audience quickly if there isn't something you want to spend all your time digging for a card for a buyer, right? Because you can lose the rest of your audience, but you need to pull up some stuff for the things that people are actually bidding on, to get some sales too. So, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5-row box, or three 5-row boxes, one for each sport. I'm going to have the team labels, and then I'm going to sort those. So, if if I'm doing a football show, okay, I can have my football team box, and I can just dig through stuff that way. Just keep running my own cards as it goes, and then as I get team type requests or even certain players, sorting them by team does speed it up to try to find it.
What I hear, ladies and gentlemen, is Adam is evolving in his card journey, or you could call it his so-called card life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is. Look at how much stuff has changed since we started doing this. It wasn't even that long ago. Like it just moves so fast, and you have to. You don't want to FOMO. You don't want to just jump the shark on everything that happens. I am not getting rid of my static sales. I am still listing cards to eBay that won't change. That's a great audience, good customer base. So this is just a piece of business that can be in addition to. It's a way to sell some cards that I wouldn't normally be able to sell, especially fast. So, they're a great complement to each other. I had somebody looking for Tebow in one of my shows. I'm like, well, I got lots of Tebow. I actually ended up pulling one for him the next day. He was back on my next day's live show, and he bought it there. But I gave him the tip, that, hey, look, I got 70,000 listings in my Whatnot store. Go check that out. And he bought a couple of Tim Tebow's that way too. So, so hopefully my static will help my live, and my live will help my static, and that's obviously the long-term goal.
They've all got a symbiotic relationship,
right? And that's the thing. And your audience, at least for me, my audience of what they buy on the live show is not the same as what they buy out of my store. Mm-hmm. Just like my store doesn't sell the same way as your store does. Like even within the same seller, my results are different between the different platforms. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's fun. But yeah, so that's my next step, is to do a little bit better sorting on that side of things. I specifically bought a lot of sets because I'm like, oh, this would be great because set breaking would be real easy to do live selling with. And then I quickly found out, like, well, where's all your Eagles? I'm like, oh crap, I got to dig through all these sets now to find all the Eagles, right? So yeah, there's definitely a learning curve to some of that. And maybe your buyers are different. Maybe your buyers are only want, $20 plus cards, and they don't care about Ken Norton. I don't know. Note, but
that reminds me, I got a eBay request today from a buyer who collects Tom Brunansky. He wanted to know if I had any more Tom Brunansky anywhere.
That's wild. I don't have any Tom Brunansky listed in my store. Like,
no,
I don't stretch out that far with what I list. Most of my stuff listed is very hobby, intentionally.
Yeah.
And I've had lots of boxes of commons that I've either sold cheap or given away, and I'm like, man, if they're, how many Greg Jeffries cards were in those boxes? How many, Cowboys commons were in there, where I've got a Cowboys buyer where literally any Cowboy card I put up, he just buys it. unless he has it, of course.
Yeah.
So it's it's a different dynamic.
I have exactly one Tom Brunansky single listed, but what actually brought this conversation on is he was browsing some of my police sets, and he specifically wants a bunch of police issue Tom Brunansky. So
yeah, I get a lot of messages on police cards. I actually have like 3 full drawers of police cards I haven't listed yet in my cabinet. You can't scan them. They don't list for crap through Card Dealer Pro, and so I just haven't made it a priority to sit down and and list them all by hand. But maybe I'll do that at some point. It'd be cool to do a police live auction, right? Like the actual police do with like bicycles and drug dealer cars and stuff like that. We could do a police auction, but it's police cards. That would be fun.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's the big change to the channel. Not necessarily a negative thing, just a little bit more providing a little bit more space and better organization for the show itself, instead of having to come up with topics every week. You guys having to be on here every week, you get that little break then too, and can think about things. And we'll post in the Discord. By the way, if you're not on the Discord, there's the link going around on the bottom there. Join that, because we do plenty of daily discussion on there. That's the other thing. When we started this show, we didn't have Discord either.
Yes.
So this was our conversation piece, and now, I mean, all day long that Discord is going. So
it's popping.
It's popping. So join there. You'll get plenty of daily conversation, lots of different channels to participate in there. And then bi-weekly, we'll do this live show. I enjoy the live show. I do not want it to go away. I think you guys do too. The feedback we get is very positive. We do have some regular viewers, if you will, weekly viewers, and we appreciate you guys and want you to stick around. But yeah, we're gonna create a little bit of space for a better show, I think.
Yeah, that means Adam's gonna do a ton of prep for each show.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. It also allows me to watch a few more Cubs games since they're so dominant in the league. There's
when you had us guessing, what you bought that you thought you never would. I thought it was a Brewers hat.
Right, which is crazy, because why would you buy a last place team hat? I mean, because so this is how it goes, guys. Okay, so here's the Cubs, the Reds, the Cardinals, the Pirates, and then who's after the Pirates, Charlie?
I haven't looked at the standings recently.
It's the Brewers. It's the dang Brewers.
All that matters is at the end.
That's correct. So anyway, but that's kind of the big announcement on the show side of things. The other is, Charlie mentioned it earlier, kind of in jest, but obviously there's going to be more conversation and having a more well-rounded business approach, with using some live along with some static selling. And so we are going to have a lot to talk about that way, because that's going to continue to evolve and how we participate in it and things. Charlie's podcast this week was about that as well. So, and how live selling can fit. So if you haven't listened to that, I listened to it this morning finally, and it was very good. I thought you made some really good points. You grabbed some really nice pieces of discussion from the Discord, which I think was a good move, because it showed some different perspectives, new live sellers and people who've been doing it for a year or two, some full-timers, some, part-timers, some I don't want to do any of it, all that kind of thing. So it's a good. Do you have to sell live to be successful selling cards? No. Mm-hmm. Can you be live? Can you be successful selling cards live? Yes. So it's not a right or wrong, yes or no type of thing. It's more of a figuring out what's going to be best for you. There is a special challenge to selling cards live. If you have never done it and you're going to try, there's a lot. You have to keep the audience engaged. You got to create some sort of personality. It's kind of like doing YouTube, right? Charlie, before you started YouTube, you were probably like, God, how do I do this? Like, what do I do on a camera?
For sure.
And then it just, now we just do it. It's not, I don't even think about it. I don't get nervous. I mean, hell, I'm not even on time. So, um, it's just becomes, it's, your muscle memory, you're conversational and you make it go.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of come to Jesus with yourself to figure out what, your personality you want to be on there and how you want to sell cards, what kind of cards you want to sell, what sort of follower, base you want to bring along. And, um, you're not going to nail it day one. You're going to kind of have to learn how things work, your time slots, how long you run, all that kind of stuff. Where you fit your cards in, how you do your sourcing, how you do your, um, your organizing, things like that. So, uh, there's a lot to work on. I'm thankful that I'll be able to have a little bit more free time on some of those Wednesdays to be able to focus some on that and keep moving forward. But for now, it's the organization. So I have a better. I want to do an all request show. I think that would be a fun thing to do. I think it would be. Um, I'd like to see what the participation level is on that with my buyers. But if I do that, I got to be able to fill some requests. So I got to find a way to more, easily be able to handle a show like that. Because generally you kind of start one way and then, your buyers will sort of dictate where the show has to end up going. Kind of like our chat does a little bit.
Yeah.
Chat's like, well, that's great. Live selling's neat. Let's talk about eBay claims. Okay, well, guess what we're gonna probably end up doing? We joke about that all the time. Like, well, we had topics, but we never got there.
Right.
Because you have to. Part of being a live host is leaning towards where the audience wants to go. So, live selling is very similar in that regard. So. But there's a lot of shows I haven't done yet. I haven't done any non-sport. I haven't done a vintage focus show. Like there's tons of stuff that, is on the table and, it's going to take a little bit of focus to get some of that sorted out. My eBay store, I've said this the past few weeks, my eBay store is exactly on point where I want it to be right now. All I have to do is keep it full, which I will continue to do that. So that's kind of nice. I can kind of, other than if something major happens or I sell down quick or something, that's right on point and allows me to focus on a few other areas.
So speaking of that, I saw you changed your username on eBay. Used to be Minis and stuff, and now I believe it's the Dollar Box 14. Does that mean there's 13 other Dollar Box stores out there?
No. So here was my take on it. Minis and Stuff 2014 I've had since 2014. I know you're surprised by that. Actually had a store earlier than that had another name, but anyway, this is the one that I built, my card business on. Obviously, then I came up with the name The Dollar Box and I logoed it and all that kind of stuff. I never changed my username because I'm like, well, people know me as this Minis and Stuff 2014 since I started. But I changed the name for a couple of reasons. One, it fits with the brand better, right? It's, why are you Minis and Stuff 2014? Like, no, I don't sell minis even anymore. I used to sell miniature game figures.
Okay.
So that made sense that way. The other reason is I was contacted by eBay Live to participate in their live selling program, and your username has to match your business name.
Oh, okay.
So that was something they asked of me, like, would you consider changing your new username? And I'm like, honestly, I probably should have done it a while ago. I was just kind of, why, if it's working kind of thing. Like, I didn't think it would hurt it necessarily, but so I said, seems like a reasonable request. So that was part of it. The other reason is I have the Dollar Box 2, which is my second eBay store. And that store I'm going to kind of dwindle down and get rid of, and then it's just going to be the Dollar Box, the main Dollar Box store. So I thought that would be better than trying to be like, okay, well, I bought stuff from Dollar Box 2 and now I'm in Minis and Stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So I felt like when I'm trying to merge things back together here, like that'll be an easier transition that way as well. But yes, the dollar box 1 or whatever you want to call it was taken. I don't think you can use characters in your username because after I switched it to 14, now you're only allowed to switch your username every 60 days. I don't know if you know that,
Right.
but after I did it, I was like, crap, I should have just done the dollar box and then $. But I don't know if you're allowed to use that in a username. So I might have one more change coming to that, drop the 14 entirely and add the $. If I'm going to do it, I got to do it now. Right. So as I'm building, if I'm building a live audience on eBay Live, I haven't still decided how eBay Live fits in or if it fits in at all for me.
I know you can use underscore characters. I have those in mind, so you probably can use signs.
But because I've never seen anybody with like an exclamation point in it or a question mark or in a username, so I'm not sure if that's limited or not.
It was a closely kept secret until you just went public with it. Now everyone's going to go out and take it.
Well, I mean, I could do hashtag the dollar box, right? I could do at the dollar box. Nobody, if one of you guys takes this, I'm gonna be really pissed. But none of you are the dollar box. I don't think it would really benefit you. But yeah, after I did it, and I'm like, well, I'll just keep 14 because it was minis and stuff, 2014. After I did that, well, I was kind of under the gun in a way because I had to reply to eBay about if I was going to do the change and then make the change so that they could do that and schedule an onboarding and blah blah blah. So it wasn't like I had my own freedom of time to really kind of poke through the options. But I think after 60 days, as long as I keep the dollar box in the name, I can do whatever I want. So if I could do at the dollar box, that would be amazing. That would be like the perfect one for me. So because that is my handle on Whatnot. I know that's eBay, but still, either way,
don't say eBay.
Right. Either way, if I decide to continue just Whatnot and eBay Static, at least my eBay Static would kind of promote my Whatnot to some degree. So, yeah. So some those are kind of major things that I've had happen this week. Kind of a big week that way. Along with some successful Whatnot shows and a couple of bombs. I tried a midday one just for something different, and I didn't have a lot of inventory available, so it made it kind of tough to meet requests. And I sold some cards. I mean, I made some money. I sold some cards. I more than I would have sold had I not done a live show. But yeah, it wasn't a big number, super successful type show. So. But I appreciate everybody's support. I've had plenty of Discord members pop in and, had some bid on some stuff. And, I appreciate you guys showing the support. I always have every intention to get in on all your shows. So I set the reminder and then it's like 10 a.m. and I'm like, crap, that was like an hour ago. I forgot to. So I'm not intentionally, not participating in anybody else's shows. I just, kind of lose track of the time and don't end up in a lot of them. I've been on a couple of them, but I'd like to do more of that. So I just took at yo. Sorry, I jumped ahead on a message.
Look at you jumping ahead.
I couldn't resist. It just made me chuckle when I saw it. Yeah, and it's funny because I know, and it's a Discord user because you guys jump in Whatnot. The first thing you put in the chat is yo, or got any givvies? I get givvies a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know which one of you yahoos it is as soon as I get those messages. So that's part of the fun. All right, so business shakeup for you. Anything happening this week?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Just continuing to grind away. You mentioned the podcast. I knew that was going to be an emotionally charged one when I was putting that together. I got dubbed the live selling villain right away in the Discord. Now that you've gone over to the other side.
Right.
So just having some more conversations about that on the side a little bit. And but yeah, as far as the card business, continue to see growth in my coupon strategy. The last bit of tweaks I made to that really seem to have taken off, and now they're coming in consistently, which is great. In fact, as we went live, I just got another coupon order with a multi-card stack. So that's going well. I continue to dig through some back stock and make some progress there. Still listing some lots here and there. Haven't bought much for like fresh retail inventory. More or less just because I haven't really seen much too exciting out there when I go out. You know, I've been going past Target on my way home from softball every week, and I tend to stop there and grab something to drink and maybe some fruit or something. And I always take a walk down the card aisle, and there's been some stuff that I would have snatched up in the past, but it's just not where I'm at now. Getting all that retail stuff. So probably the next thing I would grab when I see it is going to be some Topps Chrome football when I eventually see some blasters on the shelf there or something.
I'm excited to get to a show fairly soon just to get some out of boxes.
Yeah.
You know, because there's gonna be a ton of it.
And that's the thing. I'm more than happy to wait out a show and grab the singles. Right. You know.
Yeah, especially because everything's like so overpriced on that, and you know, I think what are blasters now $39 or something, $39.99 for a football card blaster, and yeah, it's pretty wild. So yeah, I don't really. I'm trying to think. Pretty much the only retail stuff I buy is non-sport because I just won't find it otherwise. So
I did see the new series of ponies was out.
Yeah, did you see the set boxes or the bigger boxes?
Yeah,
they had those.
Game though, I thought when I picked it up and really looked at it, it was the card game. Yeah,
I passed on those two because of that. But yeah, like the pony packs. I bought a box of Deadpool. I bought a box of Batman. Metal Batman.
Okay.
So that's kind of, and that usually the products are cheaper. I mean, the Deadpool wasn't. Deadpool was $40 for a blaster, but
okay.
Yeah, because that, I mean, am I going to find a bunch of Deadpool at a show? Not too likely. So
no, probably not.
That's the kind of stuff I feel like, okay, I can pay up a little bit to retail to get some cards that will, you know, move in the non-sport store for the current time being anyway.
Right.
Which will end up being in the regular store, the one store. I'm kind of excited to go back down to one store. Yeah, I mean, having two stores really isn't as big a deal as, you know, a lot of people made it out to be. But it's nicer to have just one, you know, to have to try to manage. And the biggest problem is not eBay or managing two stores. It's that goddamn Card Dealer Pro. So I had a situation with the non-sports store where it dumped all my listings, and then I had to relist stuff, and it relisted stuff that had sold, and I just want to get out of that whole thing. So, as a matter of fact, yesterday, I should have pulled up the screenshot, but I sent it to you. But yesterday, I actually closed my Card Dealer Pro non-sport account. So once this month ends, you know, and it comes to the next billing period, my Card Dealer Pro for non-sport is done. So I'm going to try to get as many listings, you know, in as I can since I paid for them, if you will, and then just sell down that eBay store, and I'm not listing there anymore. All non-sport stuff would also get listed into the regular store. One of the things I noticed, because I'm not listing as much in the store, I've been doing more like live show stuff, if you will, and working on that. My store is sold down quite a bit. It's crazy how fast you can kind of sell through cards too.
Yeah.
On the static side. So it's kind of interesting, like, you know, okay, well, if I let it sit for a bit and it sells down some, I could start pulling out some more non-sport stuff and adding that to the store. And so, yeah. But I'd gotten to the point where, like, I ran out of sports listings. So then I put some in the non-sports store, and I'm like, this is just not what I had planned on, you know, for the long-term future of things. So this kind of works out okay to sort of bring that back together. It'll be under one store, the Dollar Box, or at the Dollar Box, whatever the hell I end up with, you know, on username side there. The banner, the logo, you know, all that will stay. I have a huge chunk of followers in that store. versus, the smaller amount of followers in the other store. So I can let that one go and save my money. I don't have to pay for Car Dealer Pro. I don't have a monthly premium account, and save some money on that side and just focus on the main store.
One store to rule them all.
That's the goal. And the store kind of takes a different spot now because there's certain cards that live selling would work better for it. So instead of just everything goes in the store, a lot of times it's going to be put it on a live sale. If I have a buyer in there, great. If I don't, then it goes in the store. So it's going to have this kind of back and forth flow based on what the business looks like. So in a way, I'm still running I'll still be running two stores, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a live store and you're gonna have a static store. So instead of two static stores, it's a live and a static. So that's kind of what I'm trading off to.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. So those are my big steps so far. Tomorrow I have my onboarding call. I took some time. I got a contract from eBay. I wanted to look over it. I sent it to my attorney. Got some feedback from him and was able to make a decision. So tomorrow I'll be doing onboarding at like 3:00, something like that. So
they send you a contract,
like a terms and conditions, basically.
Yeah.
So because they want to, I think what they don't want is the Wild West portion of Whatnot. They want to make sure like people hold themselves well and perform in the show and don't get sweary and throwing things and telling poor taste jokes. And
yeah, they don't want to be the 1998 eBay.
Right. They want to be the 1999 eBay, right? They're forward thinking. So and initially I was like, well, what do I need eBay Live for? I got Whatnot. Well, I did a lot of research, and some AI assistants helped me kind of compare the two, and like the buying crowds on those is quite different. So
yeah,
I still feel like, okay, well, this might be better for like a Whatnot show. This might be better for an eBay Live show, and you tend to get overbidding on eBay Live more so than you do Whatnot. But Whatnot has more like, this is hot now, and you can sell a little bit lower end stuff because there isn't as much static sales going on there. So like if somebody wants that card, they're going to buy it in a live stream. Versus eBay, you're trying to start something at $2, they can buy it $2. They'll just go buy it out of a store. But there's some, anybody can look that up, do some parallels between the two, and you'll see that there's different audiences. And I don't really know what's going to be the best, if it's going to be keep both, or that's going to be my Whatnot live stuff, and I'm just going to go stay static with eBay, and I can get those types of sales that way. So I don't know. I have some unknowns with that, so I'll do the onboarding and I'll see how things work. And I mean, we know people who are on eBay Live that have been very successful with it, just like we know people on Whatnot that are very successful. So,
right.
It's still invite only, and I got an invite, so I figured why not take a look at it and see how it fits, if it fits.
All right. Well, good luck to you there. I'm sure sure that'll go fine.
Yeah. If it doesn't, then I don't do it. So it's it's not a contract like you have to do this or you have to do this many shows. It's not that kind of thing. I have an attorney that I retain, so why not use him? So anything I get where I'm like, am I missing something here? Is there little things in here? You're not allowed to share the contract, of course. So I couldn't really help ask you guys to take a look at it and anything like that. So, I took it to my legal personnel and just kind of made sure it wasn't going to put me in a bad spot, and it's okay. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, you can sever that relationship anytime. You can leave eBay Live just like you can any other platform. What I'm most interested in is if I can have success at eBay Live, will that translate those buyers into buying stuff out of the static store.
Yeah.
I see that a little bit on Whatnot, but not as much as I'd like. If I can get more of that out of eBay, that will lean me more to doing more eBay Live.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's something we don't hear a lot about in conversations, right? We hear about the live show results. I haven't really seen too many comments from people about, oh yeah, and I also sold 10 items out of my static, marketplace as well during the show.
Yeah, and honestly, I think because you're not having a lot of sellers do that. There isn't a lot of sellers who are going live and have 60,000 listings.
Well, I find it
So it's
when
kind of a
I'm
new
buying
test.
in a live selling environment, I find I want to pay attention. So if I do flip over to their marketplace, it's just a quick glance and I'm not seriously shopping. Because I want to see the next card coming up, in 15
Yeah,
seconds.
most of the ones that I've gotten were after the show.
Okay.
So they watch the show, and then when I say, yeah, I'm this is going to be the end of it, or we're only going an hour, or whatever it is, then it's the double click on my logo, and then they go in my store. If they don't see me show, what they're interested in, then they'll go check it out. So
So
and
to
it's only a
that,
few buyers. I haven't gotten it's not like I do a live show and then I have 400 cards ordered out
right.
of the store.
Right.
It's 3 cards, 5, 4 cards, something like that. But I want to see if that changed because of the eBay buyer user profile. I wonder. I want to know if that will change that and that would increase those numbers because people are used to static buying on eBay. That's not weird. I don't think when most people go to Whatnot, they think, oh, I'll go in a store and I'll buy something. It's not there yet.
Yeah. When you talk about people buying after the show, I say, I think I can count on one hand. Well, I know I can count on one hand, and I don't even think I need half the fingers to count how many times I watched an entire live show all the way through to the end. Usually I'm there for maybe 20 minutes and then I'm on to something else. Right?
But it could be you're in there for their last 1 minutes of the show, and that could happen too. Yeah. So it's not necessarily a start to finish, but I don't know. I really want both. I mean, I want to cross sell. I want the candy bar at the checkout, that kind of thing. So I think there's something to be at play there. I don't think anybody's really pushed to try to achieve that as much, so much. So I'm gonna try to see if that's something that I can maybe lead the way on a little bit. Because I'm not taking down all my static listings. I'm not doing any of that. Other than I'm going to be consolidating the 2 stores.
Just delete them all. Take them all down.
No. Maybe the second store, just because, like I said, I had such an issue with Card Dealer Pro, and I have to go in and look at stuff because it's like crap that already sold. I got to delete that, things like that. By the way, if anyone wants to know, I can reveal something that will save you a lot of heartache if you ever get to this point. If you want to delete your Card Dealer Pro and you're using their inventory management system, don't just delete your Card Dealer Pro because it'll take down all your listings everywhere you sent them. So all those scans, all those listings created, they'll all be turned off and you'll have no way to turn them on because you canceled your Card Dealer Pro. So what you have to do is go into Card Dealer Pro, disconnect all your connections. So if you've got Whatnot, Shopify, Collects, Whatnot, Shopify, Collects, eBay, you have to disconnect those connections so when you turn off Card Dealer Pro, it doesn't send any updates to those accounts. So just pro tip there. Luckily, I thought of that ahead of time and didn't pull the plug until I was sure that I had everything taken care of and could safely do so.
I just came around an interesting side note for Mr. Cubs fan here. It is this 2018 Topps Walmart Holiday Relic card of Ben Zobrist. What do they call him? Zobrilla?
Zobro.
With the Cubs. Now, what's interesting is if you look closely, it's got that stupid language on there, not from any event, game, or whatever. So
Sure.
you think, oh, that's not game used. That's just a rag, whatever. But when I flip it over, it looks suspiciously like diamond dirt on a pair of pants there.
It does.
It
Well,
does.
it just says not from a specific gamer event. Doesn't mean it wasn't from a gamer event.
I'm with you. And the point is,
Yeah.
a lot of people think that means, oh, it's not really game used.
True.
And I think you would agree that a listing with game used in it is going to be more popular typically than something that does not list game used.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
there is a big debate over that. I've heard for years now. So I just thought that was interesting when I came across that card and picked it up. I was like, that looks like a pair of game used pants.
I have a lot more trust in Topps products than I do Panini. But Panini says not from a specific game or event, it wasn't used.
Right. Yeah.
There's no way. Topps, I believe they make a lot of efforts and have a lot more connections to get stuff that they need for cards.
I kind of agree with you on that.
But now to top it all off, you don't even know that was his game used uniform. It could have been some other players.
It's Topps.
We've seen that too.
It all off. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Topping it off. So yeah, I don't know. I would actually enjoy that card. That's a cool card. Ben Zobrist, he was the man.
For you?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I would take that one. I'd throw that in my Cubs collection. Ben Zobrist was the man. He was a big piece of that World Series team for sure.
He was a staple on a lot of my fantasy baseball teams. Somehow I always get these like super utility players that are scrappy, not superstars, but they show out every single night in all the little things in the game. So
yeah, for sure.
All
well,
right.
let's head to some chat. I think we covered a lot. I think the chat has a lot to say.
What's chat? We have chat on the show?
Chat. It's cousin to Chad.
Yes.
I don't know.
Savage Refines is here, aka Bill Simus.
Yes, Bill.
Says he finally updated his YouTube handle. And he says, Wazza! True. So welcome,
B,
Bill.
what are you doing? What are you doing tonight?
He says he's doing his first Whatnot this week, thinking of just doing mainly shiny cards on Whatnot and then non-shiny stuff on eBay.
Yeah, that's influenced me because I have a lot of cards, like hologram cards. Dude, those kill on Whatnot. Mm-hmm. On the nice camera, and you can give it a little wiggle and you do your lighting just right. And there's not really a great way, no matter how many good photography tools you have, to put some holograms on eBay. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that might be a better platform to do that eye catch. You catch that hype, with some shiny. Shiny got a bid.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that because I watch a lot of eBay live auctions the last couple of months, and one card I see over and over and over again, and it never sells big, is Muhammad Ali hologram card.
Yeah, I see those a lot too. There's a like a Mike Tyson one too.
Yeah.
That I've seen a lot. So I don't know if it's like some certain set or whatever. They must have got them really cheap, like a stack of 1,000 of them or something.
Sometimes
trying to move those
out enough. I'm like, do I just keep seeing the same card over and over again, week after week? But other times,
you could
multiple on the same day.
I've run cards that I feel like should have sold in a live and didn't. You just didn't have the buyer in there, and I'll run it again in another show. And lots of times you do get a buyer. So yeah. I mean, it's it's like anything. You gotta, you don't want to run the same exact show like the next day. Your audience is gonna get. You're gonna lose your audience pretty quick with that. But throwing a few cards here and there that just didn't sell in the last one is, especially if you're new. If you don't have a big regular audience yet,
sure,
you're gonna have probably a chunk of different eyes looking at your stuff. And hopefully you'll get somebody that wants in on it.
Yeah.
So.
TPS Cards, Jason is here. He says first time actually able to watch live. I didn't know that. I would have thought he's been here before because we see him quite a bit in the Discord. So I'm surprised to hear it's your first time here. Well, welcome. We're glad you could make it. Our last hurrah is a weekly show. Well, maybe not last, but for a while anyway.
Yep, that's the intention.
Yeah. Bill says currently have 25,000 on eBay, still hoping to get to 60K one day. Going to focus more on older vintage cards and easy stuff to scan for eBay.
I get that. That's not a terrible plan.
It's a lot easier to build that number up when you got stuff that's easy to scan. I will say that.
Yeah. Goes a lot quicker.
Yeah. And he says non-sport, of course. Don't want to forget the non-sport.
Yeah, I still haven't decided how to do a non-sport show live. It's got to be, you have to theme it. I don't see another way to be successful because it's too broad.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Now you could do some wider themes like, heroes or villains, and then have things across different brands and sets. You could use some DC stuff. You could use some Marvel stuff. Obviously Star Wars, you have multiple sets to choose from. You could do a whole show on bounty hunters or, something like that. It's a little different makeup, but I don't know. Is it so different than doing a show with all NFL quarterbacks or something like that?
No. No, I mean, you're right that way. It's just, do you have somebody that really wants to get in on an all bounty hunters show? I don't know. I have to kind of feel that audience out a little bit more and see what I think could work. And honestly, one of the best parts about live selling is you go on, and if nobody buys anything, oh well,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody bought anything. It's not a big deal. It's not like you lose the cards.
From your time that's sunk into it.
It does. Right. But I mean, it takes time to static list, and you're not guaranteed to sell anything either. So, it's.
Yeah. I think the mindset is different though. And in static listing, you're investing in future sales, where in live you're expecting instant sales.
Yeah. Well, you're trying for instant sales. Yeah. And I've had some shows that haven't gone great. I haven't sold a ton of stuff, but I've never had a show where I haven't sold anything. So I think, as long as you kind of know what you're doing, you should be able to get some stuff moving. If you start your show and there's no viewers, well, that's going to be pretty tough. It really doesn't matter what you're going to do. And the one show I had that wasn't very successful, I ended it early. Like, it just wasn't happening. So I just stopped and regrouped for the next day and scan stuff in or do whatever, do your static, work instead. But, but it's a work in progress. It's just like building an eBay store, right? You don't have any followers starting out. You don't have any repeat customers. I mean, 99% of my sales now are like repeat customers.
Right.
I mean, I constantly see the little green repeat customer bar, as I'm sure you do as well. And that will happen with live selling too. If you build your audience and you keep providing things that, they'd be interested in, it should take a little less effort over the long term, because you should be able to just put stuff up and you have built-in customers that will, provide the business.
Sure. Susie's here joining us from Australia. Says, "Good day, guys. Good to see y'all. Ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi." That's the Man Show version, right?
Yes. Yes, the Man Show. Well, what a legend that show was. There's no way that would be on TV today.
Yeah. I don't know, Susie. Have you ever seen the Man Show? Do you know what we're talking about? I didn't mean to, disrespect the Australian champ by switching to the Man Show version there.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Kimmel.
And Adam Carolla.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very interesting combo when you look at it, reflect on it from today. Didn't Adam Carolla pass away? He had cancer or something, I think.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but
I remember
Anyway,
they always had the segment of girls on trampolines.
yep, that was always the ending. They drink the beer out of the mugs and
Chug
girls
it,
on trampoline. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting show.
It was. Wolfie Joe's here tonight. I don't know if he's got his CFO, Chief Feline Officer, with him tonight, but you are not my secret whatnot viewer. You can set things up to where you can hide your handle from a seller unless you talk.
Well, I think you answered your own question. Do you think I could sit in an entire live show and not talk? I don't think that would be possible.
And do you think Adam could figure out how to set that so he wouldn't show?
Also that. Also that. And even if I could, would I? No. I wouldn't. Yeah. No. That would be like work and stuff. I got enough work.
Nice. Bill says, I won a $1 givey the other day. Look at that. Adam, the king of the givvies.
This is what I'm going to do from now on. So when I start the giveaway, right, entry for giveaway, anyone that types in there, how do I enter the givey, or I won the givey, thanks for the givey, you're not getting the givey. It's going away.
Not getting it?
Canceled.
It's canceled. Automatically disqualified?
Disqualified based on language. Offensive language. So yeah, don't come in screaming that, because I'm taking you out of the entry pool.
Nice. Johnny M's here tonight. He says, sure, glad to hear there will not be a divorce. I didn't want to choose sides.
It was funny, like, how many people thought that was a thing. I'm like, somebody mentioned to me the other day when, I'm getting more on the live side, and then you made the video about, his live selling right, and they were like, gosh, I've never seen you guys fight. And I'm like, you guys don't have a clue. Like, this is us getting along. Or I think that's part of the interesting part of having two hosts of a show like this, is you're not getting one side. You're getting different experiences. You're getting different knowledge, different business plans, stuff like that. And I think that matters. I think that's good. A lot, and we're on the same page on a ton of stuff. It's not like, Charlie does all this and I do all that. That's not the case. We agree on a lot of things. I still agree with you quite a bit on a lot of the live selling stuff.
I wasn't actually saying live selling is bad. I was just saying, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and think about the right things when you make the decision to jump in.
Yeah, I mean, you literally said that like 10 times in the podcast. I don't hate live selling people. These are the things that.
Yeah, I will be live selling someday, and everyone's gonna be like, "Huh, I thought he hated it," and that's not what I said.
That's okay. They said that about me too, and I'm like, I know it's important. I've said that. I know this is important part of running a successful card business. Just didn't find out how. I didn't figure out how it fit for me until I said, screw everybody who said you can't do a morning show, and then that changed the whole thing.
Yeah, that did do well. I did not expect you to do as well as you did either, but you kind of gave me some crap about that, because I was like, you couldn't pay me to get up that early for a live show, and I think you said you're not everybody, and you were right.
Right. It's funny. I had a guy this morning who was asking for, I don't remember what team it was. He's like, hey, got any, I think it was Older Eagles or something like that. And I said, yeah, sure. So I dug out a few cards. I put a card up, started the auction, no bids. Took it down, put in a card up, started the auction, no bids. I'm like, dude, you just asked for these cards.
Yeah.
He messages in the chat. He goes, sorry, I lost my internet connection. I'm on the train to work. So that's my crowd, right? That's a lot of what my people are going to be. It's going to be, likely big city professionals, right? Getting up early for the day and doing their commute to work, or their carpools, or whatever it is. And
Don Draper coming back into Midtown from the suburbs.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I've got something to provide them, something they enjoy while they're on that sort of mind-numbing daily venture to wherever they have to be for the day. So
just so they're not driving when they're doing it.
Well, I can't be responsible for
Safety
that. No one. so far nobody has said, "Oh, just wait, I have to turn the right corner here, and then I'll bid." After as soon as I complete my turn. I haven't had anything like that, but yeah, I guarantee you that happens though. Not saying my show, but there are definitely people who have that phone on their dash with the little bid button lit up. They're not really looking at it; they're just listening to what cards are showing, and they're doing the swipe while they're driving. So
yeah,
but no, we don't suggest that here.
we don't condone it.
No.
Safety orange, right? No.
Pull over, make your
bidding
bid
while driving.
right.
Designated heckler cards is here. I couldn't spit that one out. A divorce would have been a lot more fun if you guys still split one scanner.
Yeah, you're right. That would have challenged things.
Yeah.
I don't think that's pun intended in the cards for us. We don't look at it that way. It's a business, relationship. We have a partnership with a card show, and we each run our own businesses. It's not like what Charlie does negatively affects me or has any impact on what I do, other than just having a conversation about why we're doing what we're doing. So no, and I know Charlie is going to do live selling. He's helped others with it, so he understands how it works. And all along he said to me, just like I have, where we're both saying these are the things that I don't like about live selling and why it's not right for me right now. We were both saying, but we're going to do this. Like this is a thing that has to occur. If you want to be a full-time card seller, I think some live auctioning has to be a piece of that.
Yeah. You've got to evolve with the marketplace, right?
So it's a completely different buying core, big time. People who shop on eBay don't generally shop on Whatnot, and vice versa. So again, why I'm considering at least launching both lives and seeing what works the best, because the platforms themselves have entirely different users.
They do, for the most part,
on them. Mm-hmm. I get a lot more movement out of like ultra modern stuff on Whatnot than I do. Like, I sell plenty of ultra modern on eBay too, but I sell a lot of like older, random stuff too. So, where people can really look at, search out exactly what they want versus just the hype in the bid now button.
Yeah. All right. Well, Boom Slang is here as well. Yo.
That's 3 yo's.
Lofi Joe says eBay wants your soul. That's what that paperwork is for.
I'm not gonna lie. It was, and I messaged this to Charlie. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. Look at this. I got this contract. I don't want to. So you have to kind of overlook all the like fancy terminology and stuff and look at what it's actually saying. And it really just says that you're going to be responsible for whatever live content you put out. That's the big thing. Yeah. And they want to be able to terminate someone who doesn't behave appropriately on the live shows. Something that Whatnot's kind of overdue on. They let a lot of stuff slide because they don't want to be a villain. And so I think, eBay had a little bit of time to sort of watch them and see where the pluses and minuses were. And their big thing was, eBay is a much bigger company. They've got a lot of other things, they got a lot of things to protect, and they wanted to make sure that their live selling was controlled and run appropriately versus some of this underhanded stuff and gambling style selling and, language that is really inappropriate, to certain customers and chats. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff that's happened on Whatnot. Nobody's blind to that. That's been very evident. High profile people getting kicked off of there, right? Blake Martinez is a good example, for his shadiness. And he was an NFL player and got booted out for his shadiness in Pokemon breaks and stuff. So I think eBay was like, let's just not open that door. Let's just not, just throw the doors open and invite everyone in, and that's really what they were looking at was, okay, we need sellers on the platform, but we got to have some agreement from them that they're gonna do things the way that should be done. And I don't have a problem with that because I don't do any of that other stuff anyway. So what do I care?
Right.
I don't even do breaks. I don't do any gambling. I don't do any wheel spinning type stuff. I don't have any bad language or poor jokes or I mean I do, but I don't do any of them on that platform. I'm on there to sell cards live. I move cards really quick. On the stand, didn't sell, next one. To me, it's the time is the money thing. The more cards I can show in my time slot, the better odds I have of getting bigger sales. So that's my motivation. That's what I get through, and then I move on with my day. So I'm not there to waste that kind of time. Backyard
On
breaks.
that note,
yeah.
Boom Swang says backyard breaks. Anyone?
Yeah, it's a great example.
Susie says congrats on eBay Live.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. Right now, Whatnot has been great to me. Whatnot does a lot of really cool promotion things too. They do like zero commission days and featured different featured events. I was part of the what. It's kind of funny. I'd only done a few shows, and then I got invited to be like a featured show on the Whatnot Card Show, which was this past weekend. Which you had to use certain hashtags, and then it put you into like a search pool, right? There was like a headline on the top of it: "Join the Whatnot Card Show," and then I was listed as a dealer on there. So, and maybe that was open to everyone. I don't know, but they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do it. So I did some lives and threw that in there. It was pretty successful. So, I like that stuff. I think that's good. I really like the presence at the National. I feel like there's a lot of good things happening there. Honestly, my biggest hope with eBay Live is that I can create more static sales from the live show as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a better like checkout structure and bundling purchase structure and shopping cart and experience and all that. Whatnot charges you a stupid $5 for every static card you buy, shipping for no reason. So it's kind of hard to really get, like Charlie said, oh, I'm in a stream, I don't go buy a static, card. They haven't really found a great bridge to that yet. And I'm hoping eBay has that. I don't know. I haven't sold on eBay Live yet, but that's going to be one of my goals in my use of that platform if I do it.
All right. Wolfie Joe says, actually, that's a good topic you mentioned. How are you using AI to improve your business right now?
I mean, I don't use it for a ton of stuff. Honestly, it's mainly just to compare things that I don't have a clear comparison of. Like I said, with eBay Live versus Whatnot Live, sometimes I'll compare like, does this player sell in this market? Things like that, where AI can kind of dig out some stats for me real quick. The main thing I really use it for, though, is to create thumbnails and images, logo stuff, things like that. It's such an easy process to just tell it what you want, and there it is. Mm-hmm. So I do most of my Whatnot thumbnails that way. And I mean, if you got to create by hand a thumbnail every day for a live show, that's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
So I employ AI to do that. We use AI to promote some of our goat show things. Goats doing all kinds of stuff is a great great thing for AI to create, artistically. So, but just a pump, because I have a lot of friends that are into this. If you have good friends that are artists or artists you respect, let them do work too. Some of the stuff I've seen AI create is not as good as what my human friends that are artists can create. So, my logo, for example, was done by an artist friend. It's not AI. As simple as it is, I still, searched out someone who works in that area. And so it's a fine line, right, between both of them. And you got to figure out what works. But I am not going to have a paid for their time artist create a thumbnail for me every day. That just doesn't make sense. ChatGPT is going to do that. I want a real art piece, like our Goat Show logo was created by a real artist, right? Versus an AI or some sort of clip art type, you know, software kind of thing. So I think there's value in that. It also can't be replicated. Whatever someone draws is not going to come out exactly the same way with AI. So it gives you that sort of individuality and in a world where you can create something out of nothing on a fly.
Well, you sound like a movie promo now. In a world where
I
you
did,
can
yeah.
create something out of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's a touchy subject nowadays. Like, I go, well, we don't need AI data centers and it uses too much water. And then I create a thumbnail on AI for my show the next day. So I don't want to be the hypocrite either and be like, no, ban AI, it's bad, blah, blah, blah. I think there's good applications for it. We just have to kind of use it responsibly and minimally, if it makes sense to go in another direction, at least entertain that versus the easy way out all the time.
Yeah. So I've embraced it fully in my personal and professional life. I use it in my personal life for things like helping me plan my days, planning a workout routine, trying to change some things in my life, like weight management or something like that, picking a dinner.
That's tacos.
Yeah, in my professional life, I use it to write a lot of summaries of meetings and conversations. And in the card business, um, in addition to the things Adam talked about, the thumbnails and things like that, I use it regularly for assessing offers. I will use it for that. On things that I have listed, I will use it to assess when do I make a change. It'll look at how many watchers I have and how many views it has and how long it's been listed and give me a recommendation on if I should make changes to the listing or when I should change a price, things like that. So
and then it says take it down and 5 minutes later somebody buys it.
I haven't had that happen.
It's just there's a lot of unpredictability in any of that. The variable is humans, right? You can't predict humans.
Yeah. So I find it helpful. I use it with a lot of mundane decision making too. Like, do I really, if I'm listing tonight and I'm like, okay, I've got a box of football, a box of baseball, a box of wrestling. Do I really want to spend a couple minutes saying, okay, what do I really want to grab? And I'll just be like, hey, chat, I'm going to list for 30 minutes. What would be a good thing to list right now from football, baseball, and wrestling? And it'll go out and look at some trends and look at some of my sales and say, why don't you do this tonight? And I expended zero energy thinking about it. Right. So it just depends on where you want it involved in your business and where you want it involved in your life. I like it. Adam knows I use it a lot. He likes to give me a good ribbing every time I share something with him. And he's like, using AI again, huh? And I didn't create a 6-fingered Austin Genty either. So
no, but that card's epic. If it wasn't a case that I would search one out because I ain't paying any real money for that thing. But
right.
If it ended up in a $1 box, I would buy that for myself. I like it. Yeah, I think it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like live selling matters, static selling matters. All those things matter. This is another piece of it that's going to matter. As you grow going forward, you have to figure out how to employ AI. So this is the way I look at AI for my business. It's a free employee, right?
Yeah.
You can tell it what you want it to do, and it'll do it. It'll complete the task for you, and you don't have to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have an unlimited paid subscription with ChatGPT or something. But if I was running this business in a shop and I needed an image created for something we were doing for a sale, I would pay one of my employees to create this image, right? So, or write this, post or something like that. So it's basically that's what it is. It's just a computer employee that, you can use to, like Charlie said, do tasks that kind of, why use your own time on it if it's already there.
Right. I find meals a big one. If I'm gonna prep a meal, man, I'll just put in like a theme and who I'm making something for. Like I have some meals planned out for the national, and I'm like, give me something I can make in 30 minutes or less for 3 adult guys, and the theme is for the national. And I've got my menu all set. All I do is pick up the ingredients and put it together each morning.
So my response to that is Giordano's.
You okay. I'm not going to say you can't, Adam, but you should not eat Giordano's for every meal while we're in Chicago.
Challenge accepted.
I am looking forward to some. I did enjoy that last year.
Yep.
Plus we got to try the 2 different ones again because my memory's
Lou
gotten
Malnati's?
hazy. Yeah, Lou Malnati's. My memory's gotten hazy over which one was which and which one I liked better.
Giordano's is better sauce and toppings, and Lou Malnati's has that cornmeal crust. You can't beat that. For deep
But
dish.
I remember there were certain things I liked about each one. I loved the crust that you're talking about. And one of them I felt like the topping was too tomatoey for me. It was
that's Giordano's.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So
they're more the very traditional heavy tomato sauce type.
Yeah, I was like, did they just pour a can of stewed tomatoes on top of this thing?
Lou Malnati's is pretty slim on their sauce. A lot of cheese, and that they go more that route. So
make no mistake.
Anyway,
I ate the hell out of both of them.
You really can't go wrong.
And I enjoyed Portillo's too.
Several times, yes.
Yes. The worst thing you ever exposed me to is that damn cake shake.
Cake shakes, there's a bomb. You're like, I'll take a large to go. I'm like, dude, you are gonna die. That's a half a tub of ice cream with a cake in it.
That just set off a chain reaction for the next 10 months, and now I'm starting to work that off.
You are gonna pay for that one.
Designated Heckler says, I thought you were going to acquire GameStop, then eBay, and then finally realized unlimited listings because you rule the world.
That is the greatest success plan for my future that I've ever heard. Nice. It's not a bad idea. I gotta figure out how much it would cost to buy GameStop first. That would be step one. So I don't know if I got the financial backing to do that. We'll see. Might have to grab some investors. You guys can all go in on it.
There you go.
And then when we get to the end here, you'll all have free listings, unlimited listings.
Sold.
Mm-hmm. That's another big in favor of for me with Whatnot is they don't limit me on listings.
Yeah.
I hate that with eBay. It's bothered me since day one, and my opinion on that will never change. I don't get it. So if the live selling translates into more static sales, it favors Whatnot on that side. Just the Whatnot shipping just sucks. They have an easy thing to fix too. So
I just don't get that. So
the only reason I can say is because they want the live sales. It's just quicker money for them too on the commission side.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
All right. Boomsong says, Adam, did you bid on anything at Dada's? I won 4 lots.
I did, and I did not win any of them. So I will. Are they going to do another one? Let me know, because I might try to get a little more aggressive. I have a lot going on right now, so obviously. And then I also have like a side hustle to this business where, I'm doing some live selling through a different channel. So that takes some time too. And I'm new at that. Had some auctions this week. So I don't know. I don't want to spread myself way too thin either. So starting to realize as I get older, like what I want to take on and what I don't want to take on. And I'm not hanging on to the things. Well, I've always done this show on every Wednesday. I should do it every Wednesday. No, if it doesn't make sense, I gotta make those changes. But Yeah, thanks for cluing me in on it. There was some good lots there, so I'm gonna have to get back to that. I did place on the supply side of things. I did place an order with Humongous. What is it?
Horde?
Humongous Horde.
Yeah.
I got a new customer discount. I got some card savers and some sleeves and stuff, and it was a pretty good price. Um, so I'm kind of going in that direction now for those supplies. But I'm sure that'll change again too. The supply thing he just keeps kind of jumping from one to another
It
for
does, man.
best deal. So we'll see.
New York City Toy
Go.
Collection. Yo! We need the air horn. Boop, boop, boop.
You could finish that off too. Goat.
Go to that. There you go. Dan's here. Poof. There he is.
Yeah.
What up, everyone? Adam, now you're doing daily whatnot. Are you feeling stretched with all the sales from the 2 stores and all the daily whatnot orders too?
Yeah, a little bit, and that's if you tuned into the beginning of the show, you found out kind of some of my plans for that going forward. Um, but consistency matters in live selling, right? Just like consistently listing, static cards and stuff. So I gotta keep shows going. I don't necessarily need to do one every day. I haven't guaranteed myself that that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a show when it makes sense. Um, at least 3 to 5 times a week, for sure. And then anything extra I can fit if I want to run a show, great. But the whatnots, shipping part is pretty quick. They kind of they automatically bundle everything for you. You don't have any separate sales, anything like that, and basically just print off the label, watch the receipt, so I can see what card they won, and ship it out. So I can once this whatnot show ends. I mean, I don't get a ton of sales in most of the shows. It's not like I got 400 cards to ship out. I think my biggest one was like 128 cards. But it you don't sell that many single cards, or at least I haven't. I usually have a buyer who buys like 20 cards here and a buyer who buys 30 cards there, and so you just kind of pack them up and get them out right away. I One of the things I did, Dan, that I haven't spoken about on this show yet is so I'm top rated seller plus is what I was, but a requirement for that is to do 1 day business shipping, and I didn't want to commit to that anymore. So I switched it to 3 day business shipping. So I'll give up that little 10% of the 12% eBay fees. So it's a few cents, per sale. The way I figured it out, based on my average sales month, it comes out to like $75 savings on those, but gaining all that time and everything, and not having to constantly fill, orders every day on the eBay side does free up time for me to be able to do things on other platforms. Whatnot gives you 72 hours to ship. So so I basically tried to match my my eBay shipping profile to my Whatnot shipping profile so that I have the same time frame to ship anything that I've sold. And that's already helped a lot. Because what good is um top rated seller plus if you can't get the shipping done on time? Because what's going to happen is you're going to lose your top rated status, and you know that's not going to help either. So made those changes already this week. I got rid of my second Card Dealer Pro account, consolidating the 2 stores. All those things will help alleviate a little bit of that. Will I lose some sales pace on my static eBay sales? Sure, doing this. Of course I will. But I'll be gaining a lot of sales on the live side. I am gaining a lot of sales on the live side. That, again, that complement still equals growth, but allows me time, enough time management to be able to do all of it. And then cutting this show back to once every 2 weeks gives me an extra night to do organization or shipping or order pulling or whatever I need to do.
So Wednesday nights will be a shipping night.
Probably. I mean, Tuesdays and Thursdays are soccer. So by the time I get home from that, depending on where the game is and stuff, I got to drive home. I can get a little bit done, but I don't have that whole night on those Tuesdays and Thursdays like I do in the off season. So,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays and Thursdays alone is a good chunk, but then you have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's 3 days in a row now that I don't really have a night to do stuff I need to do to A, fill orders, or B, get ready for shows or do listing or any of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
the thing is, last year I spent a lot of time doing individual photos and listings for shiny cards. Got rid of that. Did pretty much just scan everything. For the most part, scan it all. I have my own scanner now, so it's not that trade back and forth where it's kind of forced to do some individual photo listing. I shaved off a ton of time doing that. I basically have an entirely full store at an early point in the month, and then I hold off listings so I don't pay for listings and just let it sell. And then the next month I put more listings in. So the stores are not nearly as much maintenance as they were. Two of them, yes, adds a little bit, but I'm hoping that, I can sell down the second one a good chunk and then just close out of it and move the stuff over is the ultimate goal.
All right.
Yeah.
TPS card says just have to mention your static store multiple times throughout the show since people tend to be in and out, like Charlie was saying.
Yeah, I'm getting a little more consistent with that. It didn't really cross my mind as much when I was first doing live shows because you're just focused on that, But as I would get requests, if it was like, oh, here's a card, I pulled this one, they made a buy, or I couldn't find any Braves cards on command or whatever, then that's what I would say. I would be like, oh, I don't have any right here right now, but I have 60,000 listings in my Whatnot store. Just double click on my logo and it'll take you to the store, and you can search whatever you want. So yeah, I need to do more of that. Keep that in the top of my mind. And again, I'm hoping that that's something that will work with eBay as well, and create some more static sales on that side. I don't care where it sells. I just want it to sell.
Fair enough. Bradley's here tonight. Not from a specific event means the items were purchased from the Walmart clearance rack.
Some cases, yeah. Not even that player's jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some cases that is true. In other cases, though, sometimes it really is from the player. You just don't know. That's the problem, right? So
right.
The hobby has decided for the most part that it means it's really not event worn, right?
And it's really the production company's faults. They have zero transparency on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they just don't want to be held, to that. I think that's why they stopped putting, game used or something on it, because it's just, how do they even validate it? It goes to some factory and I don't know. So I think they're just like, screw it. Just put, here's a chunk of jersey. We have no idea where it came from. Good luck.
Yeah.
And then hope it sells. There isn't much dollars in jersey cards either. Even good players. I sold a Pujols jersey card the other day for like $5 and it's game used.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, or it said game used anyway. Just a napkin, nothing special, but it's like, there just isn't much demand in that anymore. Other than maybe a specific player collector might have interest, but the market itself is not real hyped on jerseys. Unless it's like an RPA from National Treasures, something big like that. But even a lot of those high-end brands now, it's like not used, from any specific game or event. Really? $1,500 for a box of cards and you can't put a real jersey in the damn thing?
Yeah.
Like,
kind of deflating.
I can't believe people spend what they spend on those products. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you can get a really nice, not, jersey card, not from any specific game or event from Topps for like $5.
Yeah.
Why are you spending $1,500 on this box of cards that doesn't even tell you for sure if you're getting what you're supposed to be getting?
Right.
That's just wild to me. But autographs, fine. I guess, they authenticate that stuff as best they can, but You don't even know if those are real.
You don't.
And most of the players can't sign their name, so how can you even tell?
I was comparing some Matthew Golden autographs with a friend at work recently, and we had 3 cards, and one of the 3 was entirely different than the other 2.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Dan says Zobrist mem, huh? Could be someone was eating pizza and touched the patch.
It could be.
Giordano. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Ben Zobrist game used patch with Giordano's on it. Now I want it even more.
There you go. Go.
Gives new definition to the term napkin, right?
Yeah.
Napkin patch.
Keith Hall is with us. He says that's a Zobrist game use snot rocket relic, 1 of 1.
Dude, DNA. The price just went up.
We just cloned Ben Zobrist.
Yeah.
Susie says eBay Live is the way for sure.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of open to all of it. Whatnot's going well, so we'll see what happens.
And TPS Cards has a question for you. Adam, how are you dealing with the cross-listed stuff from your non-sports store if you are getting rid of your second CDP?
Yeah, fun, right? So any sale I get, I have to go to the other 2 places and take it down. To answer your question. No, to kind of clarify this a little bit. My non-sport store is big, but it's not ginormous. And non-sport doesn't sell with quite as much velocity as sports. It sells for more dollars, but not quite as much quick movement. So in a day's sales of 20 cards or 30 cards or whatever come from the non-sport store, I'm going to have to take care of that. I can go into those platforms and remove them. But yes, that is the challenge. Now, I canceled my CDP account, but I've paid through the month. So I still have some time to kind of, move some things and make some other changes where that inventory is still being managed. So any sales that happen like today still come down. But yeah, that is something that I'm going to face, and I'll have to decide what I want to do with that.
Dan says that Ali Hollow card once sold in a live for 40 plus, and then a few for 20, and for that reason, I'm sure sparked the series of listings for it. Yeah, that would make sense. You see some.
Yeah, I mean, a hologram of Muhammad Ali. That sounds like something that should go for an okay amount.
It does.
But yeah, you can get oversaturation of that for sure.
TPS Cards says I usually watch it next morning while listing and shipping after I get home from work. I think he's talking about the live here. So
yes, yep.
Again, congratulations on making your first one live.
We'll still be doing the show. It's just going to be every other week instead of every week. But we still encourage everyone to join. Watch after whatever your prerogative is. But yeah, we want you guys to continue on with us too. So make sure you're in the chat. That's what makes the show good.
Yeah.
Somebody told me this week that I don't think you guys realize how did he put that? That how Hobby or No is not good. Something to that effect. And I'm like, really? We get a lot of requests for that. That's like the hot thing. I wish I could look at it right now, but yeah, I got a message on YouTube like Hobby or No is not as special as you guys make it sound. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. I mean, whatever. But yeah, it's just kind of funny because it's like, man, that's what we get asked for the most is to run a Hobby or No.
Yeah. Susie says maybe start with sport or TCG.
For eBay Live? Is that what she's referring to?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be sports over anything else starting out.
Okay. Boomsline confirms Adam Carolla still streams. He is not passed away. I thought he had a podcast or something. Yeah, the Adam Carolla Experience or something like that.
Okay.
It's like one of the top podcasts, I think, out there.
Really? Because I haven't seen him in a long time, but podcasts make sense.
Yeah.
For him. Because he used to do the Dr. Sex or Dr. Remember with the one with Dr.
Yeah.
What's his name? Where they would take
Drew.
sex questions?
Dr.
Yeah,
Drew.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what
So you
was
had that too. That was on MTV.
wasn't it?
Yeah, MTV. I don't remember what it was called.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that was a big thing. And Dr. Drew is still going off the.
I was gonna say Dr. Drew has a show too. Yeah.
Yeah. Susie says yes, the Man Show was on very last. Are here. My ex watched it all the time, and I watched it sometime and did laugh a lot. Well, good.
It was pretty funny. It was a good time.
Yes. Although I don't think they could do a show like that today. No. Boomslang says that's why I didn't bother entering because I said the no word.
Smart. Very smart. He's like, I don't want the giveaway. I just want to come in here and cause some chaos and bounce. So yeah. I'm gonna say the G word and get out before somebody takes me down.
Yep. Dan says Adam Carolla is alive. I think you're thinking of Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, he's right. I am. Yeah,
Norm Macdonald is definitely gone.
Yeah. Gone too soon. Boy. He was awesome too.
We got. We've been discovered here, Adam. Professor Moose Knuckle figured us out. It says Adam sort of defaults to the know-it-all and can never be wrong, even if he does complete 180 the next show. And that causes Charlie to match his energy and go into contrarian mode. It's their thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is a show of like our opinions and our experiences. So that's what I'm going to share. And I'm open to, other ideas and making changes. And so, yeah, something that I'm not in favor of one week, I could be in favor of the next week. And that's the wild card of life, right? But yeah, I mean, I probably do come across as a know-it-all, and that's part of my personality characteristics.
Well, you've been doing this a long time too, though, and
yeah,
you've got a level of success that few can match.
Yeah, it's more just like a sharing of my experiences. So yeah, I don't mean, and I never come out and say like you have to do live selling and you have to do it this way. It's the only way, I always say, if this fits for you or find out how it works for you, I do believe it's important, but might be different for your business. So, yeah, but
I think of it more as we're a modern version of Laurel and Hardy or
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you want to tune into the show and then I don't give you any of my opinions or my personal experiences? Like what would be the point of it then? Take what you want from it. And if you don't like what I say, that's fine too. That's obviously.
I think he might have a point when it comes to Brewers and Cubs.
Yeah, for sure. but I think that's the dynamic, right? Like we want to have a little bit of a jab fest and a little bit of difference of opinions. I think it's fun to play on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But people in the world today are so like, this is me and it can't be you. And like I think that's a problem in society overall. So I think it's fun that we can come on and I say one thing and you're like, yeah, but that's the whole point.
I think it would get boring not only for our viewers, but for us as well, if we agreed on every single thing. We'd be like, why are we talking about this if we just agree on everything?
Well, and that's not how life works anyway. Like,
right.
I mean, you and I have both been married very long periods of time. Do you agree on everything with your wife? Of course not.
No.
So like that, you pick partners and you pick people you work with when you have the luxury of picking. You pick people that are going to be a compliment to you, not exactly like you. Why would you want that? I don't.
Right.
If you come on here and say the exact same things as me, there's no point in both of us being here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun. We've heard all kinds of different things about, well, geez, Adam can't let it go or blah, yeah. So, but that's just, par for the course when you put out a public profile of yourself.
It is, but Professor Moose Knuckle, we value your opinion, and it is an open forum. So thanks for participating.
Jump in here and chat. If you've got opinions or differences, let us know. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Susie wants to know when your eBay Live career is starting.
No clue. Tomorrow is my onboarding call. I would assume I'd get some instruction from them. I don't know what kind of setup it takes or, any of that. If I have to submit the first show to them and they have to approve, I don't know. I don't know what they want. So once I complete that, I'll have a better idea of, what the next step is. And, but as soon as I schedule a show and I'm ready to do something with them, I will post a link in the Discord. I'll post it in this YouTube channel. A link to the show, and then my Facebook business page, and all that. I'll have it in all the spots. The Instagram, so you can always check there. Once it's ready to go, and jump on in and see what it's like. I'd love to have any of you on there. It would be fun. You don't have to buy anything. Just be fun to get some people in there.
Yeah. And she says, Adam, how many cards did you sell at your morning live show?
Which one? Today's show, or I've done a bunch of them. Probably my most successful one was 128 cards. It was one of my first shows, which I think you get a little pump from Whatnot. When you're doing you haven't done a bunch of shows, I think they kind of pump you up a little bit to give you free promotion, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So I probably had a few more buyers in there. There's been a few shows now where I've done them early in the morning where I've had 23, 24 people in the show, which is pretty good. The one I did yesterday afternoon, mid-noon, I think the most I had in there was 8 at one time. Yeah. So you have to have pretty specific cards for that small a pool of people to get bids. So it's a little bit tougher. The hardest part is when for me anyway, when you're putting cards up, you're not getting bids, and then you say, well, what do you guys, what would you guys like? Try to get some feedback, and chat's just totally dead. That one's tougher because it's okay, well, if you don't want to bid on the stuff I'm putting up, what would you like? A lot of people just jump into the streams and they'll say, you got any Kobe? You got any blah blah blah, and I can just be like, nope, no Kobe. I'm not gonna lie.
In your thumbnail moving forward, no Kobe.
So, but yeah, I would say on a typical show, it's because I usually do an hour and a half ish, maybe a little less than that on a morning show. And I probably get 40 to 60 cards sold in that time. So, one a minute, maybe. I don't know. It's probably about average. Pretty good. Pretty decent number. Sometimes I don't get a lot of multi bids. I just get the one bid and sell. But I do $2 starts with the buyer pays shipping. So honestly, that's a $3 sale. So is the way I look at it. If it was a static sale on eBay, and I'm okay with that. One of the things I kind of testing now, especially if I have a decent crowd in there, is if I put this $20 card up and start it at $2, will the efforts be there to get it to $20? Right? I've tested that a couple of times, and every single time I've gotten the bids up to what I would have listed it at on eBay. And that was a big confidence booster for me because I was like, well, if I have a 20, I have a lot of static sales, a lot of followers, good strong shop on eBay. If I could list this card and it's a hot player, let's say Tom Brady card, for example, which has a lot of velocity, and I can get $20 for it, why the heck sell it in a live show at $10, right? Mm-hmm. That was one of the things we'd been discussing being against live selling for a long time. I haven't really seen that. Pretty much everything of where I think it should go, it gets to, and then things go over what I think it would go for, or what I would list it for static. Like a 1992 Ken Norton playoff card, which we were talking about earlier. I would list that in my store at $1.99 with free shipping. So I sold it in a live for $2, but the buyer pays shipping. So basically sold it for $2.78. So I sold it for more money in the live selling, and I sold it instantly, right? Didn't have to scan it, file it, pull it, do any of that. I did have to take 10 seconds of my time to put it on a camera, and still throw it in a package to ship it. But it removed some of those other efforts, to get that card sold.
All right.
But yeah, I would love to. I really want to average between 100 and 120. That would be my favorite spot in a morning show, because it's not. I don't have to be on that long to sell that many, and it's not that huge a task to ship that many cards, once the show's complete.
All right. Professor Moose Knuckle wants us to know that Laverne and Shirley, to be honest, and to that I say thank you. If I could have that kind of lasting legacy 40 years after being on the air, hell yeah, I'll take that. So thank you.
Legends.
Yeah.
I'm the one who puts the glove on the beer bottle, by the way.
You're the one? Okay.
Whoever that is, that's who I am. I'm the beer bottle glove lady.
I think it was Laverne.
I don't know. All I remember about that show is they had a giant letter on their shirt for who they are, and I thought that was super weird. And then I remember the greaser guy, his name was like Squiggy or something.
Squiggy. Yeah.
Squiggy. And I'm like, what is this show? Like, where are these people?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. That was a very successful show. I mean, most actors in Hollywood would die to have a show like that for sure.
Right. Bill says AI is great for coupons too. He saved him money on cards the other day, just by searching for some codes with AI.
Yeah, I've done that too. I do that when, anything I order online, I try to find some kind of codes, and yeah, I never really thought of using AI to do that. That's kind of smart. So pro tip, Savagery. Thanks. I'll be using that.
All right.
Or should I say Bill, since we know his real name?
Yes.
You can't hide from us, Bill.
Boomslang says they do cards maybe every month or so. Is that data that we were talking about before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something new to check out. Like I said, I'm doing so many things right now. Like it wasn't a focus like it would be maybe like in a dead time where business is just running. I'm not doing anything new. So
yeah.
I'll get some focus on it in the future. More to where I actually can win.
There you go.
It's like buying bigger lots and stuff like that. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all. This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, that's one of the other things I have to kind of spend a little time on is like some more sourcing, because if you sell more stuff in live, obviously you need more inventory. And do I start going to more shows again? I don't know. One of my goals a while ago was to start buying out more dealer tables, and I really slowed down from that because I couldn't put any more listings up. Why buy, 6 5-row boxes when they have to sit there because I don't have any room to put it, any listing space. Well, now I could do that. I especially will be looking for dealer tables who have their cards sorted by team.
There you go. That takes the labor away from you.
Right. Something I never would have looked for, in recent past. Now I'm going, if they got them all sorted by team, that's the box to buy for me. So a little shifting gear that way.
Yeah. Susie says keeping organized is the toughest part for her.
Yeah, I think that's something we all will struggle. Anytime you have 60,000 of anything, it's going to take you some effort to have them in some sort of reasonable organizational system and stay consistent with it. The thing that I struggle with live shows is it's all organized. I start pulling cards out and I'm doing them, and this one sells and this one doesn't, and they go into like piles, right? Because you're live and then it's like I got to go back and resort those piles now, or I have to. Am I going to run those on another show? Do I have baseball mixed with football, and I'm going to do a football show tomorrow, so I got to get the baseball out of here. So it's organization itself. I've got that down pretty good. I've been doing this long enough. reorganization is now the new challenge.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So I mean, my ultimate goal is put it on a live show. If it doesn't sell, it gets scanned and it goes in the store. Like that would be the best flow in my mind. There are certain cards where I'm like, man, that should have sold. I want to put it in one more show. So I need to have like a next show bucket somewhere, box somewhere where I can just put that stuff in it, and then that would just get sorted on its own. And then everything else would go in a scan it box. Should keep it pretty easily organized that way.
I got distracted here for a second. Did they change the StreamYard logo up here in the corner? Yeah. It's much more subdued than it used to be, right?
Yeah, it's a little more cartoonish. It's got the smaller duck head, kind of more like Daffy, and then he's got the big headphones on that has the S on it for StreamYard.
Yeah,
they changed that a little while ago.
Oh, really? I just noticed it today for the first time.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Because I feel like it used to be like color in it and stuff like that, and
it was it was a more traditional looking duck head. This is more like a Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
It almost looks exactly like him, and then just like the big bulky headphones, on.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, me too. It's better than the other one.
Boomslang says I'm going to be there next week to pick up my lots.
Nice. Good deal.
And he says he went out to a storage unit today and cracked open the vault, pulled out 54 row boxes, but have not done anything with them yet. Video coming soon on my YouTube channel. That'll be fun.
54 row boxes. Whew. Yeah, you guys got to start moving stuff. You got
right.
Some of the numbers. So I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I got like 10 boxes. I got a list, and I hear some of the numbers from you guys. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, you got to get this stuff out. So I'm glad you pulled some. Hopefully you find some cool stuff and some things you can run. Because you're doing Boomslang, you're doing live shows now too, right? Or you're just starting, you said? So what's your thought on that? How are you going to run it? Are you going to do like team shows, sports shows, mixers? What's your plan? I will tell you, just based on my short experience, of course, but any theme I have to the show pretty much goes out the window once you start taking requests, because it's going to be, I'm going to do an all hockey show, and you get started and somebody's like, do you have any Eagles? Yeah, sure. I'll pull out a stack of Eagles. Now it's a football show. Like, people don't jump in like necessarily because of the theme as much as you'd think. We're willing to basically go into any stream they can click on and ask you for stuff. Here's the thing with filling requests, okay? I was kind of warned a little bit ago, like, don't start taking requests because it puts your show off the rails and blah, blah, blah. But requests equals sales. Because, like, if somebody puts in a request for Emmitt Smith cards and you start putting Emmitt Smith cards up, they're going to feel compelled to bid, in a lot of cases, because they're like, well, I requested this and he's putting them up. And you have pretty good odds that, you'll put something up they don't have or something that they want. And you get a few sales out of that. It's like, I guess my shows aren't big enough, at least not yet, where I'm getting like all these giant multiple bids on everything, where it makes sense for me to just keep doing that and not kind of go off the trail. Right now, my audiences are small enough that it makes sense for me to just go to what my audience wants, and fill the requests that way. So. And you get regulars. So like I have the guy who rides the train every day, and he's like, I'm really looking for some Daryl Johnston cards. He's like, I can't find any. I don't have it. He's one of my Cowboys guys. A lot of Cowboys buyers. And so I was digging through one of my set boxes. I'm like, there's a Daryl Johnston card in here. That's how I got started on the 92 playoff stuff. That's where I pulled it from. They bought it. I mean, he paid basically $3 for a Daryl Johnston base card. Yeah, well, $2 plus 78 cents shipping.
Moose.
Yeah. So if you can kind of meet those requests for that buyer without completely derailing don't spend 10 minutes of your show digging through a box with nothing on the screen. But if you can keep running your auctions and then dig a little in between or get to a stack or a box, or that's where I want to sort by team to speed that along or make that a little bit better. there's no reason you can't just add that into the show, because there's no prediction as to what cards you're putting up anyway, unless you're importing them from another inventory source. Where you're actually listing the card. Most of us are just listing card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card shown on screen, whatever it is. So there's no reason you can't pull a request card and put it up there, as long as it doesn't completely take you away from the show.
Yeah.
The thing is like, that was kind of natural for me, but I realized after, like, I've built that skill on here, right? So we have these topics, but then chat kind of takes us in another direction and we go to that. So the flow almost looks like we know what we're doing. We really don't. we just kind of have an outline, and then based on what things happen is where everything really goes in a lot of cases. And it's made for a successful show. It's made for a show where we have regular participants, all you guys that join us live. And that's what we want. So just completely sticking to our topics and saying, no, we're not going to talk about that, chat. That's not on our list. That it's not, we're not really meeting the goals of the show then. So I kind of feel the same way about the live selling, and it was easy for me to sort of transition in between, putting up what I want and then putting up what's actually going to get bids.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, you only have so much time and you're trying to get sales.
Right.
And if you got an Eagles buyer in there, he's not, like Charlie said, he's not guaranteed to stay in there for your entire show. So if he's in there looking for Eagles, you might have 10 minutes. You better pop as many Eagles as you can, get all the sales. When he says, hey, thanks a lot, I got to go. Great. See ya. Okay, here's the next card. Okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know. Maybe there's another Eagles buyer in there. And now you get some competitive bidding on top of it. And, push prices above what it should even go for. That's kind of the beauty of the live selling on that side. You're not accepting a price. You're letting people compete for that price.
Yeah, and you really have two different types of buyers in there at any given time too. You get buyers that are there for the energy, and then you get buyers that are there to really buy quickly with perceived value. Like there's people there for the vibe, and there's people there for value. So,
well, and here's one of the things, you're kind of providing a service too, right? Because I'm, but when I was on my, not so much live selling train, I was like, well, if somebody wants Andrew Jones cards, why don't they just go into the store and type in Andrew Jones and buy the Andrew Jones cards?
Yeah,
because that's not how everybody shops. There's a lot of in-demand shopping now, right? So somebody comes into your stream and they're like, show me your Andrew Jones. I got 10 minutes. Pop a bunch of Andrew Jones, they buy them all, and then they're gone. And that's it. That's their buying experience. They don't want to go to eBay, type in Andrew Jones, add a bunch of stuff to cart, check out, put in coupon codes. Like, that's not how everybody wants to shop. So it just kind of gives that quick, satisfaction type person a way to pick up some things and not have to put much of their own effort into it.
Which I agree. I still don't know that it's hard for me to reconcile that in my head that makes sense that someone would want to shop that way.
They do. I know, me too.
Right,
because I wouldn't. I wouldn't. We're also old guys. The other thing is that's important with live selling is that people don't keep track of what they're spending.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had a buyer on there the other day, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, he wins, and he bought all these cards, and like 10 minutes later, he posts, crap, I just spent $83.
Yeah.
Right. So like, let's say that buyer would have gone to my store and added them all to their cart. Now they have to commit and put in a debit card number, right? You have to go through the whole checkout process. And now they're like, well, I don't want to spend $83. I'll take 20 of these out of here and just spend $50.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you can't do that in life. Once you commit to buy it, that's it. It charges your card instantly.
Right.
So, which is also in a way kind of annoying because you get that stupid card fee on every transaction. One of my little pet peeves about live selling. Yeah. So it that person was having fun and found some cards they liked, and they just kept bidding, and they were winning stuff, and then they go, crap. There's a lot of times too where the charges start not going through because if they buy a bunch of cards right in a row from you, the credit card company's like, that's too many charges in the last 15 minutes or whatever, and they flag it. So that's been interesting to experience that. I never really thought about that, but it does make some sense, on the fraud watch side.
Yeah, I've had some of my purchases get hit like that too.
So yeah, there's things that are exclusive to live selling for sure.
Wolfie Joe says, I sat courtside for an NBA game once. Dwight Howard, Superman, sold his jersey to a kid next to me for $3 afterwards. Did he really ask a kid for $3? Guy on the other side said he does that every game as he got no money from game worn stuff. So he'd rather
$3
some kid get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the agreements are there on equipment and stuff, but can players just give away all their jerseys? I think like there's claims to that stuff, isn't there?
I think there is. I think it's so minuscule they don't care with salaries these days. But I mean, it's become regular to have jersey swaps at the ends of games and stuff like that. Like, I don't think they really care about it. I think I've seen some articles quoting athletes that's saying like, yeah, at the end of the year I had to pay $5,000 in jerseys or something like that.
Yeah. Well, and I know that they make them in a lot of leagues. They like make them change jerseys during the game, right? So like halftime, you have to change the jersey. Well, it's not because the jersey is dirty; it's because they want 2 game-worn jerseys.
Yeah.
Out of it, so they can cut one up, or they can sell one as game used, or do a charity auction. Whatever the purpose is, they have that extra jersey every game. Maybe the player gets to do something with one of them, and then the other one, gets in the tops laundry basket, and they do whatever they're doing with it.
Right.
If you think about it, jersey cards are kind of gross.
Yeah. I've had that thought run past my mind before.
Like game used pants. I don't want somebody's game used pants. I don't know what's happened in those pants.
Here's this card with ball sweat.
Yeah, pretty much. So, because I have a Nitschke game used pants card. I'm like, game used pants. You never see that. That's kind of cool. And then I'm like, they had a picture of the pants on the back. How weird football pants look when they're not on a body. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's gross. Like I don't, Yeah. So game used shoe. I'm like, maybe not as bad. Game used hat. Maybe not as bad. I don't know, but yeah, something that was stuck to their body. I think almost every player now wears something under their jersey. I don't think their jersey really gets that much body contact, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Your soccer boys don't wear anything under their jersey.
No, a lot of players in like a lot of running sports, the guys wear like a sports bra type thing.
What?
Yeah, because the jerseys rub on the, it's like marathon runners, right? The jerseys rub on the nipples all game long and they get raw. So they wear like it's basically an undershirt, but it cuts off under the, under the chest line.
To put on?
I don't know. I don't know why, I don't know how it works or why it works, Charlie. I'm just telling you that it's a thing.
Another weird thing about soccer.
It's not just soccer though. They do that with other sports too. There's a lot of track and field stars that wear them. Some basketball players. You just get
your word on that.
You get that constant, rubbing, if you will, and it's not so great at the end of the game. So,
chat, that can be your assignment for the next show. Come back with some data about athletes wearing nipple protection under their uniforms.
Sure, sounds good. Ask AI, see what it tells you.
There you go. Dan says eBay Live GOAT consignment account 24/7 live card selling on eBay Live.
It's crazy because when I do those early morning streams, right, and I like to raid other streams. I think that's in good faith, and hopefully it pays back at some point. But I look at some of those shows that I enter, and it's like they've been live for 14 hours, and I'm like, what the hell? You started yesterday afternoon, and now it's like 4 a.m. but yeah, there are literally, streams. I think you're only allowed to stream 12 hours at a time. I don't know if that's like an FCC regulation or what it is, but they just schedule 2 shows a day. So they run for 12 hours. That show has to end, and then they just start another one. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are people that are paid just to stream, just to do the live selling portion for a business, and it makes sense, right? As long as you're making money, sometimes it pays to pay somebody else to do the work, and you get all the profit.
Yep.
Yeah, an eBay live goat consignment account. Not quite, but I get what you're saying, Dan.
Double A Cards is here and says, "Hey guys, thank you for all your content."
Thanks, Double Ace Cards. I appreciate you. We are not discontinuing content. We're just gonna spread it out a little bit, make it a little bit more exciting each time we're on. Hopefully.
Yep.
Yes, we will continue to bring content. I'm hoping that kind of opens it up for me to just jump on and do like a random video here and there too.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Boomslang says, thinking about it hard, but still on the fence, but it will be older 70s baseball.
Okay. I think that could do really well. Probably more on an eBay live than a Whatnot live, but there's definitely a vintage crowd.
Yeah. Says he's got tens of thousands of them.
Jeez. Why?
Why?
Why? What are you doing?
Maybe it used to be his favorite.
Yeah, I'm just poking.
And he says you need the pasties with tassels.
Why would I need anything? I'm not playing the sport. Come on, guys. Although I am a coach, maybe I'll get raw at coaching. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a lead by doing type of coach. I think you're probably more that way too. So I'm out there showing them how to do like a step over move, right, in soccer, where the ball is here in the middle. You step around this way, bring this foot inside, and push the ball out, right? So you're faking you're going one way and going the other way. So I have to show these kids. I'm like, you got to sell it, because they just step over the ball, and then I'm like, you didn't convince me at all of what you're doing,
Yeah.
So I haven't moved some of those parts in a while, and so I get out there last night and I'm doing all these step over moves, and I do the running with them and all this stuff. And this morning I got up and I'm like, I stretched good, and I tried to do it, but it was also cold out, so it didn't help. But yeah, I got up this morning and I was like, oh man, I forgot how rough this starts out. I'll get a few weeks into the season and I'll loosen back up, but yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean there. Like, I told my story last week, starting to play some rec league softball again.
Yeah, right.
And, I made it through last night without doing any more damage, but I'm still hurting overall. I got the back patch on every day at work, and now I got a knee that's swelling up a little bit. Like, life over 50, nobody told me that these things were going to happen so soon.
Yeah, it only gets worse. I know.
Boomslang says he's got all that 70s because that's when he started collecting.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and you could get them for like quarter a pack. So yeah, you just load it up. Right. It's gonna pay you some dividends now, though.
Designated Heckler says, Adam, cut up your shirt and include patches with your goat stickers as game used Wednesday show givvies. I like it.
No.
We've been looking for some exciting new freebies at the GOAT Show. Maybe you can have some, Adam mem cards from the Dollar Box Live.
Maybe. Maybe. I was gonna show something.
What are you looking for?
Well, I made my own memorabilia cards in my Wampa costume. I don't have any with me right now. Yeah, so what I did was I had a bunch of extra fur, so I actually cut out a square and I made a backing on it, and I glued the fur in it and stuff. I thought I had one on the table here, but I don't. I'll try to grab that for you next time. So yeah, I made my own mem cards. They were very popular. Everybody wanted.
Was it event worn?
No. It was actually not even a part of the costume. It was just extra fur material. That fur is like super, super expensive. So I'm like, I got to do something with this. I'm like, dude, trading cards. That would be dope.
Yeah. Yeah. You must have You must have gave them all away.
No, they were numbered to 10. I think there's one in one of the Favre boxes down here, but yeah, they were numbered to 10. I kept like 3 or 4 of them, and I used them as giveaways. The correct way to say that.
Yeah.
I used them as giveaways for different like charity events and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. Now I don't even have the costume anymore. I sold the costume.
I saw that.
Yeah.
We're at the 2-hour mark. I think before we wrap things up, we should probably give a quick shout out to the Goat Card Show. Next, coming to you here in Green Bay, Wisconsin at the historical Riverside Ballroom on Sunday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tell us about the show, Adam.
Well, we've got a pretty good show for you. Our top drawing is for a Paul Hornung autographed authenticated jersey, donated by one of our Discord and live viewers. So that was pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. We're happy to give that away, and that all proceeds for entries to that will go to the charity we select for the show. We'll have BB breaks there. As it gets closer and we know what they'll be breaking, we'll announce that. So you can participate in the live break. You do not have to be present to win. You can buy on their site, and they'll send the cards to you. But it's also an opportunity for you to come watch a break live and pick up your cards right at the show, which is a lot of fun. I don't know if that jersey is game worn. Come on, Boom Slang. I doubt it, but I suppose it's possible. It looks pretty new though. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, we have an ATM on site. We're going to have our amazing food menu that we won't know about until 10 a.m. that day. It's an exciting angle to the show that way we've always enjoyed. We have our find a goats. So you can walk around, find a goat at a dealer table, bring it up to us. We'll give you some bucks to spend at the show. And 9 to 2, free parking, free admission. We have a few dealer tables left. So if you're looking for something, hit us up and we can get you scheduled in for the show. Historic Riverside Ballroom. Weather should be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that. I get tired of the January and March and February shows.
Yeah.
Not as much fun, at least for me. I'm not a winter guy. So looking forward to a nice June show, showing up with shorts. Charlie and I will do a live show from the stage, of course. We'll bring you all along with us to the show if you're interested. We realize not everybody can attend in person. So it's a way for us to include all of you. If you want to attend in person and you are not from the area, hit us up. We can help you with some accommodations and show you around and make a fun event out of it. Table cost is $55. If you buy multiple tables, your first table is $55. The additional tables are $45. So we give you a little bit of savings there if you're a multiple table dealer. We welcome all types of cards. We love non-sport, TCG, sports, of course. So we have some of everything. We get a lot of compliments on our, dealers that are brave enough to bring things that are not football cards. And I like that part. All of our dealers do very well, and a lot of them sell different things. It's an 80 table show. We end up kind of expanding beyond that a little bit as the demand is there. But we got plenty of places to sit. There's drinks, there's food, there's plenty of bathrooms. Real nice, super open concept. So any location you have as a dealer, you're going to get customers to your table. And looking forward to another successful show. We're having a lot of fun with it. We also have, I don't have those down here with me. I always mean to bring them down and I forget it. We have the hologram goat show stickers. I think we showed a little video last time of those.
Good.
So we have our first little piece of merchandise. We'll be selling those for $1 at the show. Way for you to show some goat show pride. Stick it to your PSA slab box or your inventory drawers, something to that effect. Those are only available at the show. We are not selling them outside of that. So that'd be your way to pick up a piece of the very first piece of goat show merch.
Sounds good. I'm excited for another successful show. Always a great time. Great vendors, great conversation, great products. Just can't say enough at the community that we built around that. And good food and drink. We get rave reviews about the food. We don't always know exactly what's going to be on the menu. Sometimes it's beef tips, sometimes it's roasted chicken. You just never know.
Chimichangas,
but it's always
shrimp. Remember the shrimp basket? I was like, "What? We got shrimp? That's dope."
Yes, that was amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good time.
All right, so I think that's it. We're over 2 hours. That's our show. What did we learn tonight? Well, team dividers are entering the operation. Adam thought he'd never order those. eBay Live may be on the horizon. Adam and Charlie are apparently building a Laverne and Shirley legacy. Somehow we all learned to protect our nipples tonight. I'd say that's a hobby education you can't get anywhere else. So I will see y'all next time.
Have you ever had raw nipples?
Yes.
It's no good. It really is no good. Remember, you can't sell what you don't list, but maybe you could sell it live. We'll see you all next time. In 2 weeks.